Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an article titled, "My Husband Turned His Life Around. I Wasn't Prepared for How Much I'd Resent It." And so guys, this is a story about a guy who's in his late 30s, and he started putting on some weight over the years because he's married. And for what it sounds like, both he and his wife for a while were a bunch of couch potatoes. Their hobbies were sitting on the couch watching Netflix and sports and eating, and that's pretty much it, okay? And so basically the guy decides one day, or over a course of a few years, I don't want to go into 40 years old being overweight. I want to lose the weight. And so finally he decides to start taking action and hitting the gym, changing his diet, and he starts losing the weight. And just as the title says, the wife started resenting him for it. She started resenting him because he was actually making improvement upon himself, looking better, and also he'd go work out in the very early morning when she would have her cuddle time with him, okay? And I'm doing this article, guys, for two big reasons. The first reason is showing a perfect example, real-life example of what happens when you spend time, have friends and people in your life that aren't supportive of your goals, that aren't loyal, and aren't willing to take action and improve themselves. It's a perfect example of what will happen, how friends, spouses, family, you name it, can start to resent you for you working hard to take action to improve yourself, whatever it happens to be, whether it's weight loss or making more money or getting a great job or starting a business, something like that, okay? And not only resentment, but also in ways they might try to sabotage it. Because, and the thing is this, guys, understand by human nature, generally speaking, people are shit. Okay? And human nature has a lot of nasty, ugly sides to it. And for a lot of people, most people in life, and if you guys are right now taking action in one form or another to improve your life, if you haven't noticed already, as you progress more and more and get better at what you're trying to do, you're going to notice that certain people that you've been friends with for a while, or your girlfriend or spouses or whatever, or family, they're going to start having issue with that. They're going to start making little jabs and comments about what you're doing. They're going to start maybe backing away from hanging out with you, and in some cases stop hanging out with you, or start to try to sabotage it through manipulation or any other kind of tactic. And it's a big shame, because by you moving forward on your goals and trying to take action and make yourself better, that shows to them what they could be doing, but they're too lazy and fearful to do. And so it's easier for them to hate on you than to actually get off their ass and make improvements to their own life. And most people are like that in varying degrees. And the other reason I'm doing this, guys, is to show you that, guys, what will happen if you're in a marriage or in a serious relationship with a woman, and let's just say you both are kind of out of shape and don't take care of yourselves, and the guy decides one day, I'm tired of this. I want to be in good shape. I want to be healthy. I want to look good. And he starts taking care of himself, and how the woman's going to feel about it. Because if she's still a couch potato and overweight and doesn't take care of herself, but the guy is busting his ass at the gym and he's eating well, it's going to make her, in her mind, feel bad and look bad and can resent the guy, just like in this story here. And there are women out there that will do shit to sabotage it, just like she does in this article. And you got to watch out for that, guys. So for you guys that are into fitness and working out, you're gym rats or like doing outdoor activities, you got to make sure that if you're going to do relationships, you got to have a girlfriend that's into that stuff. She's into the gym, she's into outdoor activities, because if you're all of a sudden, if you're into that and she's not, it's going to rub off on you. It's going to also have her try to sabotage shit, and you do not need that. And also, you're going to see that, guys, understand that with women, if they're used to their guy being a couch potato and all of a sudden he starts taking action, it's going to make her feel insecure that now other women are going to notice him. Because if he's getting his body in shape and looking good, other women are going to be looking at him. And a typical housewife, or just wife in general, doesn't want that. Women typically marry the beta male, so that guy can pretty much be at her beck and call, and she can boss him around and run the relationship and provide the money. And as long as he stays undesirable, unattractive to other women, she's got him. But if he, all his life, or their relationship was, out of shape and didn't take care of himself and looked like a slob and just wasn't that appealing to the opposite sex, and now he's doing stuff to better himself and he's looking good, that's going to make her insecure as fuck, because she then makes her realize this guy now can see that he has options and he won't tolerate my bullshit as much, realizing he has options. And also, in her mind, makes her look bad, because people are going to be wondering, hey, why is this guy who's in shape and healthy with this woman who looks like a pig or looks like a slob? Because you can have women that are good-looking women with overweight guys that don't look very good, because that's kind of common. You can see that a lot if the guy has, obviously, resources and status and knows how to handle her, and he's an alpha in the relationship. But it's rare to see a guy who looks really good and is very fit and in shape with a woman who's not that, okay? So all this shit's going on. So that's why, guys, I know I'm going on here, but this is very important. Watch who you hang out with and spend your time with, and also with the woman you choose. If you choose to do relationships or, God forbid, get married, make sure she's into working out, supportive and all that, or you're going to deal with this kind of crap, which I'm going to go over. So, again, the title of the article is, "My Husband Turned His Life Around. I Wasn't Prepared for How Much I'd Resent It." Starts, "I don't want to walk into my 40s with a pouch. I want to look good in my clothes. I don't want to wade into the pool at the community center with my love handles," declared my husband one morning. The extra bit of body peeking over the waistline of his swim shorts. I didn't say it aloud, but I thought at the time that he was being vain. My husband had been grumbling about losing weight for some time now. I understood. I could stand to make a few lifestyle changes myself, but I'd fallen into a pattern of excuses. If he wanted to commit to his health, I was with him 100%. But while I was prepared to see my husband attempt to turn his life around, what I wasn't prepared for was how I'd feel when he actually achieved what he set out to do. It was unsettling to see my husband suddenly doing better than I was, personally and professionally. He was coming into his own in his 30s. Meanwhile, after a successful and ambitious youth, I worried I was plateauing. Guys, generally speaking, a man's prime is his 30s and 40s. But for a woman, her prime are her late teens and 20s. So right there, she said, I was plateauing. But as you're going to see, she hasn't been doing any action to keep herself, at the top, so to speak. And so this guy's trying to improve himself, and she's resentful, as you're seeing right here, and it's going to get worse. We started dating almost 2 decades ago. We shared a love of binging on Netflix, watching cricket matches for hours, sleeping in mornings, and enjoying food. In other words, guys, they were a couple of couch potatoes. As in sync as we seemed, we were also very different. It's one reason we fell in love. Back then, he was reserved, I was loquacious. He thought things through, I charged head first. He was always self-analyzing, I had supreme confidence. We brought out the best in one another. I felt our relationship shift when our daughter was born in 2008. My husband became more social and read up on religion, politics, and women's rights. He experimented with new recipes, learned to ski, and stuck up an interest in stand-up comedy. I, on the other hand, slacked off writing that book I wanted to pen since grade 10 and dutifully put off salsa and dance classes. So this guy is improving himself in different areas, skiing, and she says stand-up comedy and other things he wants to do. Meanwhile, things that she said she wanted to do, like dance and writing a book, she's not doing. So she's falling into this cycle what a lot of people do, just basically it's TV and food and just live your life and it flies on by. So already he's taking action and she's sitting on her ass. One day, my husband walked right past a formerly substantial colleague, now as light as a teenager ballerina. He spent a week raving about how much weight his friend had lost and wanted to give the keto diet a shot. It bears noting that my husband's version of the low-carb, high-fat diet didn't include any of my favorite foods. And she lists her favorite foods as Twix bars, kettle chips, and that delish double-layered chocolate cake from Metro. He stocked up on cauliflower rice, while I remained loyal to the plain white stuff. As he conscientiously grilled chicken or fish for his lunch, I'd watch sucking on just one spoonful of Nutella. Before leaving for work in the morning, he'd make 2 glasses of rose-tinted breakfast smoothie in the new blender he swore we'd use together. I can't tell you how many times I wanted to use that blender as a bludgeon. So you see, guys, he's on his mission. He's making the changes to his diet. Meanwhile, she's rambling on about her favorite foods, Twix bars, kettle chips, and chocolate cake, and she's sucking in the Nutella while he's grilling fish and salmon. Notice she isn't doing anything to improve herself here, okay? And as she just said, him using the blender, she wanted to use it to hit him over the head with it, okay? Watch how this continues, guys. He did this every day for months. While I admired his growth into a woke, fit, and sexy man, I paid scant attention to my own. I felt like he had raced past me in life. 2 years later, he's 20 pounds lighter. His clothes fit like a bit too sexily for my liking, and he doesn't burp as much. 2 years later, I'm still struggling to cope to terms with what it's really all about. My lack of discipline and fear of change. What I say, guys, in the beginning, that people are unwilling to change themselves, it's usually because of fear or because they're lazy. End of story. Guys, we are all so much more capable of what we all have in life. I think the world would be a completely different place if every person would try to improve themselves just by 10%. 10%. It'd be a totally different ballgame. But most people in this life just float through life and don't do shit. They do just enough Monday through Friday so they don't get fired from their job. And then on the weekend, they pretty much sit on the couch, watch TV, eat junk food, and just get through the weekend to black out the week and start the whole thing all over again. And the next thing you know, they're many, many pounds overweight, unhappy, feel like shit, but bitch and complain about their life that they don't make enough money, don't have a happy lifestyle, they're not happy with their spouse, alone, overweight, out of shape, don't have enough money, all these different things. But are they willing to take action to improve themselves? Most people are not, okay? And as a personal trainer, when my clients, they hire me, I'm on their ass. I talk to them like this. I'm not a dick about it, but I make it clear they have the potential to turn their lives around, but they got to work, okay? I don't baby anybody. And I've had some people not want to train with me after a few workouts because of that. I'm not a drill sergeant, but I make it abundantly clear you got to take action to turn around your life. Not just with me with the workouts, but also on your own at home. I can't tell you how many people I've had that had the idea that if they worked out with me once or twice a week, they could be at home and still drink beer all the time and eat pizza and eat like shit, and the weight will just magically go off. Doesn't work that way. And when I tell them they got to take action on the home front and they got to be very good about their diet and all that stuff, they don't like it. But the people that do listen to me, that work out with me and do some workouts on their own and change their diets around, they have great results over a period of time. But again, most people don't want to do shit to improve themselves, and it's easier to bitch and complain that they're not where they want to be in life than to actually make the effort. And, by the way, hate on others that are working so hard and taking action to improve their lives. And again, guys, as you are out there improving yourselves, you're going to notice more of this. Mark my words. All right, goes on. I know I'm mentioning that a lot, guys, because it's so important to really hammer that in to make people understand that. Goes on to say, letting go of my resentment. My initial reaction to my husband's changes was indignation. I may have snapped, "Don't you like me just the way I am?" at my bewildered husband on more than one occasion. He had reason to be confused. He had never asked me to change. I fumed he couldn't see that the healthier he pushed himself to be, the more my own self-doubts came into focus. I was projecting my insecurities onto him. But this self-realization hadn't yet dawned on me. So she's already giving him shit and making him feel bad about all the hard work and dedication he's doing because she's insecure about herself and she's too lazy and weak to take action. For example, if there's one thing I live for, it's cuddle time. We've long savored those 20 minutes before our daughter launches herself into our bed every morning, wiggling in between us and declaring her presence in our lives. In my resentment, I felt that he had taken that special time away from me. You'd find him at the gym every morning, sometimes even on weekends. Instead, I've done my bit to sabotage his routine. Listen to this, guys. Faked illness, the blues, and even diarrhea to get him to skip. He fell for it once, but quickly wised up to my sulking, fake tears, and occasional threats of divorce. You hear this? She's faking being sick. She's faking all sorts of things. She's complaining. She's sulking, even threatening divorce because of this. Isn't this insane? You would think a good wife or a good partner, whatever you want to fucking call it, or a good girlfriend would be supportive of a guy working so hard, getting up in the morning when he'd rather be in bed, going to the gym, being disciplined. But instead, because of her own bullshit, not only is she resentful, but now she's taking action to screw it up, even threatening divorce because she's that weak. Guys, this is why it's so important that you are very careful who, not only who you hang out as friends, but also if you do relationships, who you get into a relationship with. Because this type of crap can happen. And for you guys that are into fitness, make sure that your woman is into fitness too. He said to her, "We can work out together, you know." My husband reminded me one day. Something clicked. He was right, of course. Of course he's right. As I marveled at my husband's discipline and focus, I increasingly recognized that I am an individual apart from him. It's important to have a marriage that challenges you to be your best self. And challenge me is exactly what my husband did, although unwittingly. I'm working on letting go of my resentment before it turns into a full-blown animus towards a sweet man who just was trying to look good in board shorts. These days, I'm trying to meet my husband halfway. My meals have become healthier. I lug myself to the gym at least thrice a week and binge watch Netflix on the Stairmaster because, let's face it, it's boring. I've switched to egg whites and there's no sugar in my coffee or tea. I still refuse to ski and it feels good. So, finally she's getting off her ass and doing this because her husband isn't backing down. And this is why it's so important, guys, that if you are in a relationship right now, if you're already stuck in it, if you're married and watching this, and you want to make changes or you are making changes, no matter how much shit she throws in your way, you're on your purpose. Your purpose is to lose weight, get in great shape, or stay that way. Nobody gets in front of your purpose. You come first, okay? And eventually, and believe me, just like this fucking lady was saying, your girl, your wife, if she has a problem with this, is going to pull bullshit. Faking illnesses, throwing tantrums, threatening a breakup or divorce, that type of crap. Now, for me, if I was in a relationship and whatever I was doing and a girlfriend was giving me a hard time because my purpose was getting in the way of her time or she was making her feel insecure, she'd be toast. Goodbye. But I've learned over the years, number one, not to get into a serious relationship, at least it wouldn't be for a long time. But if I do, it's going to be someone that's equally driven and ambitious. That way then we can help each other out, not have some insecure broad hold me back. So for you guys that are married and or maybe you're trying to lose weight or do anything to improve yourself, you got to keep pushing forward. And if you got somebody that's in your life now that's holding you back, you got to really considering kicking her to the curb. Because it's only going to be like that more. And while in this story he finally got her to submit and go to the gym with him, it's half-ass. And I've seen women like this at the gym all the time. They're on the treadmill going at like level 1 where they're barely walking, reading their magazines, watching their Netflix. She's going there, but she's not really working out. And honestly, they get in the way. But hopefully in this story, this guy can get her off her ass a little bit more. But it goes to show you. This finishes up with her saying, My husband's doing his part to keep things even-keeled in our relationship too. He's loved me and more importantly lived with me for far too long to know not to disregard my feelings. That saint of a man has been accommodating them for over 18 years and counting. Cuddle time is back. He never tells me what to eat or not to eat. It's always us. I appreciate that. But I may have spoken too soon. Last week, he sauntered into our kitchen looking a bit too thoughtful about, what else? Bread. We need to go to Costco. That bread? The low-carb one with the protein. We need to load up. I need to put some weight back on. So, guys, like I said, obviously she's sort of going with the program here with what he's doing, but in my experience at the gym, she's probably, like I said, the woman on the treadmill going at level 1, barely doing anything and just getting in the way of other people that want to use the equipment. And you see people like this all the time. They're at the machine doing some bench pressing or leg presses on the lowest level possible. They do a set, then they go on Instagram for 10 minutes, do a set, text their friends for 10 minutes, one of those types. But bottom line is this, guys, is that, like I said, you need to make sure you surround yourself with people that are supportive and loyal. This is friendship, family members, and most certainly, if you're going to do relationships, someone in a relationship. Because you get somebody that doesn't take any action to improve themselves, they're going to resent you. And they're going to cause you a lot of fucking problems and also try to sabotage it. And you do not need that. And if you got people in your life right now, guys, that are pulling that kind of crap, get out of there. Okay? Move on. And start going to places and hanging out with people that are successful, that go for their goals. All my best friends, they all do very well in their different areas in their lives, okay? In their different jobs. I got one guy has a business. They're all goal setters. They're all mountain climbers trying to improve themselves. And we all got each other's back. That's what you want to have, okay? Because you're not going to be able to do much when you have people getting in your way trying to screw it up. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you are taking action to improve your lives, and have you experienced anybody trying to hold you back in one form or another. That'd be great to hear about and to share, to help other guys out to see that it's not just me telling this story and pulling it out of my ass, that it actually does happen. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.